Welcome to hole number one of the Spring Break 9-hole cup. We start off with a par 5, and this is going to be exciting because we have brand new hole position. So you see I've got an extra mile 6. I'm going to use that through the full walkthrough here, and I'm just using a navigator ball, one top, one left, and I adjust this drive at 10% max. Now, I think the left spin is actually important because with the new hole position, we want to kind of be a little bit out to the left. You might even consider using 2 bars of left spin here, depending on the ball choice that you bring. If you have lower level clubs, you're probably going to need to use higher level balls just to compensate for the lack of power. But nothing crazy here. Gets us down 317, and we get a nice little look at the pin here. So second shot, I am bringing a sniper that has a good amount of ball guide here, and I'm playing this at 0% medium distance. Take a look and see where you are in terms of distance. I played 2 back, and I got like 1 bar of left spin here. Now, it all depends always on the winds that we see. So for this particular situation, I do play it at 10%, but I'm actually writing down in my notes 0%, and I'm recommending that that's probably how we're going to want to look at this one in the tournament. So how do you guys feel about these new hole positions? I think it's a really great way to get value out of old courses, and I think it's really exciting. So let me know in the comments below. I want to hear about it. And hey, you know what? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on the video. I'm looking forward to playing the tournament with you guys, and see you in the streams. All right, so hole number 2 here. This is a par 4 that actually plays very, very difficult. It almost plays more difficult than hole number 1. So you see that I'm sort of experimenting. I'm looking at the different options here. I do think that a katana ball is probably going to be enough, but you might consider bringing a Titan depending on the level of clubs that you play. And I'm looking at this extra mile and how much fairway I have ahead of me, and I decide, you know what, we need more topspin. So I think if you have a big topper, it's going to be something that's going to come in pretty handy here. Even a level 1, you know, with a Titan ball, put that max top spin there, a bar, maybe even 2 bars of left spin, depending how it is. And playing into this reasonably strong headwind, you know, you need to kind of give yourself the best opportunity for success. So get the distance down on this drive. Bada bing, hit that perfect ball. Get it down the middle. All right, nice little near the end of the fairway, rolling it on up. You know, this is one way to play it. There's always going to be options. This course does provide a lot of different ways to play, but I'm trying to get to these par greens in 2, trying to get those drops. Now, I'm looking at this rough bump. You can easily just play a backspin shot, you know, if you really want, and just kind of get it to the green. But I think this rough bump here is going to be the kind of thing that many people are going to go for. So I just have to show you how it does. 2 back, 2 left, 10% max is what I play this into the headwind. So take note of that. Of course, we're going to have to play around with it in the actual tournament circumstances, but hey, you know, this is kind of how the game is these days. And whenever there's a bit of rough to work with, especially when you got these hole positions that are cut into spots that are not that accessible, you know, we need to get a little bit creative. So we're going to go ahead and hit perfect here. That's going to be an important aspect of a very skinny little rough bump. And as you can see, we give ourselves a really good look at it, zooming it in, cutting it on the edge. I think this one's going to play more often than not. Hole number 3, and we get our first par 3 of this tournament. I'm looking at this one with a Goliath and a Katana, but as you can see, we're not going to use any side spin at all here. We're actually play this just with 0.5 backspin, so I would recommend just bringing a navigator, cut the wind down. No need for a side spin ball if you're not even going to play any side spin. However, when you're, you know, going through new holes, you want to kind of have the options sometimes in the bag, and I just forgot to change it here, but I think this comes in really, really nicely. I've got that edge of that green ring kind of just up near the top, and just a clean pull into the wind here. 10% mid, that will change depending on the circumstances of the wind, but you know what, they have it cut a little bit closer to the rough here. I tried playing from the left, playing from the right. You're going to need just a massive amount of curl or a gigantic amount of backspin. I think this can work. Hole number 4, par 4, and keeping with that theme of being cheap and easy, I've got a navigator ball. I give it 4.5 bars of topspin here. Depending on the wind, if you've got a strong crosswind, you might want to go, you know, a little bit of side spin. But all things considered here, I'm just playing this one to bounce up and over the little bit of rough right near the max line there. And I do have the red ring, just kind of the top right of the red ring, touching the rough at max. Now, because I have a headwind here, I do give it a little bit of overpower to compensate for that. If you want, bring a Titan ball. You would not need to do any overpower. And you might even be able to just play to the second fairway. But I think this is going to be a good all-around play for many or most of the players. So second shot, sniper here. And I'm giving this enough topspin, you'll see, to get the, so 3.5 bars of topspin. And again, we're not really using too much side spin, like half a bar of left spin. And we're basically playing like a second bounce rough bump up to the pin. They've got the pin cut right near the front of the fringe, so it gives us a nice little bit of option to work with. And again, I'm showing you examples with pretty crappy wind in most cases, because I feel like if we can master these shots or get really close in headwind, the opportunities that present to us in the tailwind crosswind situations are going to be even that much easier to manage. So line it up nice and clean here in the circle. Make sure you hit perfect. And I think this one's going to give us a very, very good chance. But again, this will waste his course. It's tough. It's going to take a lot of tweaking, but it's going to be fun. Hole number 5, par 3. And this new hole position, I think it actually gives us almost always a reason to use a rough bump here. Now, in my note, I have written down 1 bar of topspin in headwind and crossspin, and 0 spin in tailwind, and have that second bounce on the fringe. As you can see, that's exactly how we're setting it up here in this sort of cross headwind situation, which is actually nice because, as you can see, it gives us a good, clean way to adjust. Now, I do think this one could be played as well with that Guardian. Getting on that green max backspin might be a safer play for a lot of people. So, I know I'm doing a lot of rough bumps, but this is a competitive game these days, and I want to show you these lines that are going to get you super close and get those drops. Good luck. Hole number 6, this is a pretty long par 5, and I definitely think that bringing a Zerk here could really make your life easier, but I want to show this one with the simplest balls possible. 4.5 top, 2 left with my extra mile 6 and the Titan ball. Now, I also think that bringing a Kingmaker for the second shot might actually make things nice as well, but I really want to make this an example that's playable for everyone. Get it down to the green and 2, and it's going to give you a very decent opportunity. So I give it a tiny little bit of overpower there, and about half to 3/4 of a ball of left curl. This bunker up here on the right, it's definitely in play. I put the ball into it a couple of times before we finally got a nice drive here. So get it down as far to the end of the drive here as possible. If you have really low level clubs, you might just want to bring a big dog here and get this one down there. It's pretty tough here, but I go 2 to 3 bars of left spin and about 1 to 2 bars of top spin. And again, if you've got headwind here, you might even need some more. I'm kind of cutting it close to the level of clubs that I think is going to be accessible here, but I want you to see how they've moved the hole location to the right side of the green. It kind of opens up playing on the right side of this hole. You can still play to the left, but it puts you way further away from trying to get this one close. So I just kind of showing you a good path here. There's always tweaks and club choices and changes. I'm not saying this is the only way, but it's a way, and we get it there. We'll get you on hole number 7, and I think the whole location change here is actually quite slight, and it's actually been working, I think, a little more in my favor. So I'm just playing here with the sniper, second bounce on the rough, and you kind of have to look and see how this ball guide moves to get a feel for where it needs to be. I play it at 20% minimum distance, and in my note here, I have 0.5 bars of topspin in tailwind and 1 bar of topspin in cross and headwind. Strong headwind, of course, you might always need a little bit more, but that's the general guideline that I'm going here for. And again, a nice difficult headwind hole here to kind of give us an eye on what it can play like. A little bounce, a little roll. Ooh, baby, let's save the good ones for when it counts, but this is a great way to go. Hole number 8, this is our final par 4, and I'd say this has always been a pretty hard hole, but if you manage the drive, it should be a reasonably good attempt on the second hole. So 4.5 second shot, 4.5 top, 2 left here. I'm bouncing over the rough, especially into headwind. This is the kind of thing where, yes, you can use overpower. Yes, you can use a bigger club with more curl. There's a lot of options here, but I'm trying to make this a guide from the front tee that's going to suit the wide, large audience of rookie players, and not just those who have, higher level clubs. So I got a half a ball of left curl here, and we do want to get this one nicely up the fairway, but you don't need to be crazy about it. We are kind of threading the needle on this one. Do not hit great here, okay? So where we're sitting at from this nice 303 yard position does put us into a long iron rough bump position. You might want to consider playing the Goliath here. Just a matter of personal preference, whatever you happen to have. 3.5 top, 2 left. Sets us up nicely here. You can actually leave this ball guide ever so slightly short of the pin. You'll see here. Oh, did I play right spin? No, I'm pretty sure we went left. Yeah, left spin. No spin. 3.5 top, no side spin is what we kind of came up with here, because it is a little bit glitchy. There's a few kind of spots there that are not consistent with that ball guide. And this is not a massive green, so you don't want to have to like run this ball super fast through here. So just take it easy and get yourself in a good position. 30% minimum distance is what I've been playing this one at, and it gets it oh so close, and I really think this is going to be the way to go, especially in the tournament wins. Hole number 9, and we're ending this tournament on a pretty difficult hole. I'm playing this one with a big topper and a Titan. Take careful note of how sensitive the setup is here with the landing position. However, it's kind of the best way to get it down there. I've got 2 top, 2 right here. Now, if we do have a headwind, you can still play this shot, but you're going to need to use a power 5 ball so that you're not having to estimate the overpower here. We really need to have a precise adjustment so that you know exactly where this ball is going to land. Otherwise, you put yourself in a big danger. Maximum right curl here. And don't go any more than 2 top, especially if you have tailwind. We might only need 1 for a top spin because this one comes nicely down here, but there's not a ton of fairway to work with, so don't go too crazy with that there. Do practice all these shots, and hey, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for more Golf Clash content. Second shot, I've got the sniper here, and trying once again to get a nice little rough bump running up here. 10% max into the headwind once again. I didn't go and pick all the easy wins here. I want to show you this can be done. It just takes a little bit of tinkering. I borrowed top spin and, got the top of the yellow ring at the top of the rough. 2.2, not exactly a massive win to work with, but these new hole positions, they certainly change the dynamic of the Oasis course, and I'm really looking forward to playing this one. I'm looking forward to streaming it. I'll be live when the tournament starts for qualifying and again for that weekend round, I hope. So I wish you all the very, very best of luck out there. And hey, I hope you're doing well. Take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.